As promised, the results of my 15-minute military surplus store scavenge challenge. Before we begin, a public service announcement for our keyboard commandos. At no point would we suggest that you should go and steal from local businesses. In fact, I made it a point to show the cost of every piece of kit here in the kit that added up to $345, and I paid $345 for this kit. We're hoping that you can understand this was an exercise in exercising your mind. In the event that there is an actual zombie apocalypse, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be faced with difficult decisions. Decisions that may ultimately decide whether your friends, family, and loved ones live. What I can say about the military depot is I've been going in that store for 39 years and I have spent thousands of dollars in that store, and I have spent that time building relationships. Now, I'm pretty sure if it was a real life SHTF scenario and I left an IOU note that those guys wouldn't be mad at me. All I'm saying is this is a hypothetical scenario and you can either run with it or not. Either way, we appreciate you watching and commenting. Do you want premium ad-free content? Duh. Content that's not censored by big tech, of course. Well, with SD Insider, you can get behind the scenes and a whole lot more. Link in the description. And now that we have that BS out of the way, we can jump into the kit. Now, when I started the challenge, one thing I want you to realize is all I had was my hoodie, an empty backpack, and my EDC. That was it. The whole idea behind what we were doing is, okay, you have some opportunities, you need to take advantage of them. Can you think on the fly and can you figure out what you need as far as your priorities go? And another consideration is, can a man, woman, or child carry your pack should you go down? This pack in its entirety weighs 21.8 pounds, and that includes the hoodie. The whole point of bugging out is to be light, fast, and mobile. I would venture to say that the majority of people watching this video right now probably shouldn't be carrying somewhere between a 70 and 125 pound kit, period. Simply having a rifle and let's say 4 mags, a plate carrier, do you know how much that actually weighs? Then you have to worry about this kit, what you carry on your back. And believe me, those pounds add up really fast, and ounces equal pain. Now, I personally have experience with this, and I don't want to carry anything over 45 pounds. I can tell you that right now. I also want you to understand that this pack is not perfect. When I went into the store, I had an idea of what I wanted to grab, but guess what? Sometimes when you go to a surplus store, they don't have everything that you want. And so you need to ask yourself, what are my wants and what are my needs? Is what I'm grabbing actually going to help me? Now, you'll notice right off the bat that this pad is not your standard military sleeping pad. And that's because I cut it. Here is the original width of the pad. Truth of the matter is you don't need something this wide. So what I did was I cut 4 inches off of each side and I cut 3 feet off of the bottom. In reality, all you really need is something to cover your core. And that's what this is. Item number 1. Now, every kit needs some kind of cutting tool, and this one was calling my name. I'm also in the South and a machete is perfect for being down here. So there's item number 2. Now you'll notice my bag is a compression bag. I didn't have time to grab a bunch of compression sacks when I was inside the store. One thing that you got to think about is, let's say you did identify a threat target. You've got your camp set up. You don't have time to pack everything up all nice and neat. You've got to be able to stuff it into the bag and you've got to be able to go. This bag gives me the ability to open it up and then I can just stuff stuff inside of it. I can cinch it down, compress it, and then I can get out of Dodge. So let's dive into what I stuffed into this pack. Like I said, my original plan didn't come to fruition. I was gonna grab one of the Gore-Tex bivy bags in a patrol bag, and I was just gonna stuff it into this bag and I was gonna cinch it down. But I went in there, they didn't have one, so I had to draw back and punt. So this is what I did. I'm going to have to make an improvised sleep system. Now at the heart of that system is a poncho liner or a whoopee, and then a classic Marpat tarp, which I can fold over, I can button together, throw the whoopee inside of it, utilize my pad, and I have an improvised sleeping bag. So you're gonna need some calories. Calories also help keep you warm at night. So I made sure to grab me some MREs for the trip. Now you may notice in the previous video that I had some white bags, and those people that are in the military, they're gonna know exactly what that was. What I'm doing with this kit is I'm just rotating the stock that I have at home. Buy what you eat what you buy. The next thing that I pulled off of the shelf, I've got 2 hanks of paracord. These are 42 feet a piece. I have no idea why they were 42 feet. I was really looking for 100 feet, but whatever, I've got cordage. I got a confession to make. When I was picking up the tent stakes, I thought that I pulled 6. But I guess I wasn't in my right mind because I only pulled 5. Sue me. Now the next thing that I grabbed was a stainless steel canteen cup, a lid, and the carrier. When I was in the store, I actually thought, man, I have scored because I actually found a Pathfinder wide mouth bottle. And I was so excited about this until I put water in it. For some reason, to which I don't know why, the lid actually leaks. You ever had one of those water bottles where you keep turning it, and if you keep turning it, it will click, and then it's like you have to retighten it up again? That's what happened with this bottle. So I'm going to have to be ultra careful to get it just right to make sure that it doesn't leak. I gotta say, that has never happened to me before, and that is an ultimate bummer. But we're gonna have to deal with our choices, because choices have consequences. And that's just the way that things go at a surplus store. You should always check everything, you know, from head to toe before you purchase something. In this particular case, I just saw a bottle and I was like, oh my God, I have a wide mouth bottle option. I'm taking it. I gambled and I almost lost. Now I always have fire redundancy in mind with my EDC. Like I have my Wazoo stuff, I have a lighter that's in my pocket, but while I was in the store, I had like 15 seconds left and I eyed one of these old school mag bars. Well, I think it's a good idea to have it in the kit anyway, so I just went ahead and picked up another one. Plus, I haven't played with one of those things in I don't know how long, so it might be a little bit of fun. Now, the next thing was just this Molly bag, and then what I was thinking was that I could put my sleep system into this and I could compress everything down. I was also thinking that I could use it as a pillow at night, put a bunch of browse in there, and then I'd have a nice pillow. Or if I had to evacuate the scene, if I had to de-ass the area, I could put all the super important stuff in this, grab this, and just go. The reason that I grabbed this instead of like a dry sack or a compression bag was, well, honestly, I just couldn't find them when I was running through the store. This is what was there, so this is what I grabbed. The next thing was the ugliest shemagh that I could find in the store. The good news about it though is it has no pattern on it. It's an ugly green, but it is 47 by 47, which I like a larger shemagh anyway. Shemagh has 100 uses. Duh, grab one. Can't forget the old school military poncho. That's just smart. Now this is one of those areas where I failed. I actually went looking for leather gloves that had inserts in them already, but I couldn't find any that fit me. So what I did was I picked up 2 pair of wool gloves, one that is fingerless and one that is fingered. Unfortunately, that was the only option that I had, but hey, at least I've got something for my hands. And the big bummer is that next week it's supposed to get down into the 20s. We may have to rely on our skills a little bit more than I had planned on doing it originally. Another thing that I grabbed was a skull cap or a beanie. Obviously, keeping the heat from escaping from your head is a high priority when you're cold. It just made sense to me. The next thing is socks, and I really lucked out in this department. These are the heavyweight darn tough military issues, and these are the lightweight military issues. Your feet deserve the best. Gotta have socks. And I want to specify, those are wool. Now there's not a whole lot left, honestly. I do have a base layer bottom. These are level 1s with the Gen 3 setup. And then I really lucked out with the top because it's the frogs or the flame resistant base layer. Got lucky there, bro. Flame resistant base layer, heck yeah. Okay, now the only thing that is left is my jacket. Now this is the wind layer that goes with the ECWCS Gen 3 stuff. Unfortunately, it was the only one that was left in the store. I was looking for the Gore-Tex layer. I was thinking that's what I really wanted, and I wanted to find it in Scorpion, but sometimes you don't get what you want. What I was really looking for was for a barrier layer, something that I could put my base layers on. I had a t-shirt. I could wear my hoodie as a thermal layer, and then I would have a barrier layer against the wind and the rain. Now understand, there's not a lot of room in this pack. I don't have a lot of room to stuff exactly what I want in there. The idea here is about microclimates. When it comes to clothes, you don't want them too tight and you don't want them too loose. What you want to take advantage of is trapping air. Air is the best insulator there is, period. So even though I have lightweight layers, that doesn't mean that I won't be warm. If you understand the principles behind what you're doing, then you'll be amazed at the results, I promise. Now, a lot of people are gonna talk about having camouflage. You're gonna look like a soldier when you're out there. If there was a real zombie apocalypse and you're bugging out, having camouflage would be an advantage. The rest of my stuff that I'm wearing, it doesn't look military. They're earth tones and solids, no print on them. What this gives me is options. If I want camouflage, I've got camouflage. If I don't want camouflage, I don't have to have on camouflage. It's all about being smart. Now there you have it. That's the entirety of the kit that I'm gonna run for 1 week out at Georgia Bushcraft. Now, if you're a fan, come out and meet me out there at Georgia Bushcraft. I would love to see you. You can see the kit, and if you want to, I'll bring the Troxus links, and you can go for a test ride and give us your thoughts on it. And if you want to meet Blackie Thomas and Mike Simmons, they're going to be there as well. Now, one thing about it for sure is there's not a lot of stuff here, and I don't want a lot of stuff because I don't want a lot of stuff to keep up with. I try to keep it as simple as I can. If you had to get out of Dodge fast, you want to be able to pack fast as well. That's something that's really important. You don't want to have to worry about the order in which this is going into the kit. You literally just want this stuff to go in there. It doesn't matter where you put it. Just put stuff in it, stuff it in there, and go. You just want to make sure that it goes into the kit. You can see I don't care, just going in the bag. Stuff that down, click, down, down. And we're out, homie.